Okay guys, buckle up because we're in this for the long haul. Some of you will already know that I love delving through the historical layers of a good old Iron Maiden song. Well, actually this next track is not so good old. Actually, it's not old at all. It's relatively new. It comes from the 2015 album The Book of Souls. So in other words, for me it's completely new. So this will be my fourth new era Maiden song that I've listened to. And I was recommended this track and was also told that it lasts for 18 minutes. Yes, 18 minutes. Woo! Yeah, now I don't know whether that's a new record for Maiden, whether there's other tracks that I'm unaware of go beyond 18 minutes, but I mean, I remember Rime of the Ancient Mariner, and that was around 13, right? For me, this will definitely be the longest Iron Maiden song I've heard. Could very well be the longest rock song I've ever heard. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. Yeah. Anyway, it's called Empire of the Clouds. And also there's a nice nugget of history to look at as well, which is all great, right? So I did briefly look at the subject matter. And it's about the R-101 airship disaster. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not familiar with this at all. I know the Hindenburg disaster, which was an airship disaster, and the R-101 apparently preceded the Hindenburg disaster by 7 years. And it occurred in 1930. So, it's kind of interesting for me as well, because I'm not familiar with the historical background of this. So it's nice to learn something new, right? Okay. These real strings and piano. Never heard Maiden like this. Like an orchestra in the background, right?
To ride the storm to an empire of the clouds.
It's definitely Maiden.
To ride the storm, they climbed aboard their silver ghost. Ride the storm to a kingdom that will come. To ride the storm and damn the rest oblivion. Royalty and dignitaries, brandy and cigars. Really giant of the skies, you hold them in your arms. The millionth chance they left to take down His Majesty's craft. To India they say magic carpet float away, and until
brass section.
Mist is in the trees, stone sweats with the dew. The morning sunrise, red before the blue. Hanging at the mast, waiting for command. His Majesty's airship, ER 101. She's the biggest vessel built by man, a giant of the skies. For all you unbelievers, the Titanic fits inside. Drum roll tight, a canvas skin, silver in the sun. Never tested with the fury, with the beating yet to come. The fury yet to come.
Gradually building.
Gathering gloom, the storm rising in the west. The coxswain stared into the plunging weatherverse. We must go now, we must take our chance with fate. We must go now, for a politician, he can't be late. The airship crew awake for 30 hours at
Piano is still driving it.
but the ship is in their backbone, every sinew, every inch. She never flew at full speed, a trial never done. A fragile outer cover, her Achilles would become, an Achilles yet to come. Sails of the stern, a hard breed, loyal to the king, and an airship creed. The engines drum, the telegraph sounds, release the cords that burn.
This is so different.
Said the coxswain, sir, she's heavy. She'll never make this flight. Said the captain, damn the cargo. We'll be on our way tonight. Groundlings cheered in wonder as she backed up from the mast. Baptizing them her water from the ballast fore and aft. Now she slips into our past.
Whoa. Well, this is a bit more Maiden-like than I'm accustomed to. Oh wait, there's a brass section again. Okay, I'm just going to stop it there, just on that part. Whoa, where do I start? Okay, so we're nearly on 7 minutes. Still got another 11 minutes to go. Wow. Well, yeah, what to say? I tell you what, because there's still another 11 minutes, I'm going to refrain from talking about the music because there's obviously still a lot to come. So let's just dive into the text and the historical context, because there was a lot there, right? And then I'll come to the music afterwards, because that also, yeah, I obviously have to discuss that because this completely threw me. So let's go to the text. To ride the storm to an empire of the clouds. To ride the storm they climbed aboard their silver ghost. To ride the storm to a kingdom that will come. To ride the storm and damn the rest. Oblivion. Well, Empire of the Clouds. Well, the Empire, yeah? It's 1930. So even though the Empire actually was already in decline, wasn't it? After Victoria popped her clogs. But you could say that the people back then thought it would go on forever, I guess. I mean, I think they did after the Second World War as well, despite the fact that it was already in steep decline. Yeah, the Silver Ghost must be the airship. And that last line, to ride the storm and damn the rest, oblivion, that is, it seems like a very loaded sentence, right? For sure it is. It has to be. Royalty and dignitaries, brandy and cigars. Well, yeah, this gives you that classic image of the imperialistic snobs, you know, in their suits. Grey lady, giant of the skies, you hold them in your arms. Yeah. The millionth chance they laughed to take down His Majesty's craft. To India, they say. Magic carpet float away, an October fateful day. Okay, so there's lots of references to the Empire. And the reason why, okay, so I checked on this, the reason why they're going to India, the flight plan of the R101 was to go to Karachi, which was back then, today it's Pakistan, isn't it? But then it was part of British India. And their flight plan was, well, they were going to go south over the Channel to France and then make their way down and then go across, probably, I would have thought, across the equator to India, I would have thought. Mist is in the trees, stone sweats with the dew, the morning sunrise red before the blue. That's nice lyrics, huh? I like that. Mist is in the trees, stone sweats with the dew, the morning sunrise red before the blue. That's a lovely lyric, that is. Fair play. So yeah, it's the morning, an October morning. So according to the historical account, it was the 4th of October. And the weather forecast was generally favourable. So, and yeah, the flight plan was they were going to head down to France. She's the biggest vessel built by man, a giant of the skies. For all you unbelievers, the Titanic fits inside. Drum roll tight, her canvas skin silvered in the sun, never tested with the fury, with a beating yet to come. That's ominous. But yeah, the biggest vessel built by man. So how big was the R101? Well, I'm going to do this in metric and in imperial system, so everybody understands, okay? So, check this out. It was, in length, 236.8 meters, which is 777 feet. Blimey. It had a diameter of 40 meters. That's like almost half a rugby field or football pitch, which is 131 feet and 4 inches, and a height of 42.67 meters, which is 140 feet. And yeah, about the Titanic, by volume, it was bigger than the Titanic. I mean, what is interesting is that, well, we know the Hindenburg actually was the biggest aircraft ever built, right, I think. But it was only slightly bigger than the R101. Only slightly. I mean, in terms of, let's say, the diameter, the Hindenburg was 41 meters and the R101 was 40 meters. There wasn't much in it. But we all know what happened to the Hindenburg as well, right? If you don't know, check out Led Zeppelin's first album, the cover. You'll get it then. So drum roll tight, her canvas skin silvered in the sun, never tested with the fury, with the beating yet to come. Now apparently, there was an inspection conducted on the airship on the 20th of January 1930 that revealed serious deterioration of the fabric on the top of the airship. And it was where the rainwater had collected. And apparently it was essentially having an impact on the canvas. The fury yet to come. Well, the story is with the R101 is that it ran into trouble because the weather turned. It hit a storm. So that is the fury yet to come. In the gathering gloom, a storm rising in the west. There it is. The coxswain stared into the plunging weather glass. We must go now, we must take our chance with fate. We must go now, for a politician, he can't be late. According to the lyric here, they had an idea that it may not be the best thing to do, but, yeah, the powers that be want them to get on with it. I suppose, don't forget, the Empire, the British Empire, still wants to show off how wonderful it is, and having this massive airship, you know, it's a status of how powerful the British Empire is. That's the driving force behind them going ahead with things, right? The airship crew awake for 30 hours at full stretch, but the ship is in their backbone, every sinew, every inch. I suppose, like sailors on a boat, they live, breathe, everything is about being a crew member of this vessel, right? They live for it. She never flew at full speed. A trial never done. Her fragile outer cover, the cover being the canvas we talked about, her Achilles would become. There you go. And this is interesting, huh? She never flew at full speed. A trial never done. So, again, I looked up this. Now, apparently, despite the lack of full endurance and speed trials, the fact that a proper investigation of the aerodynamic consequences of the extension had not been fully completed. So they did some kind of alterations to the airship, but never really conducted a full test on these new parts. And a certificate of airworthiness was issued on the 2nd of October. And the flight is the 4th of October, so this was 2 days before. The Inspectorate expressing their complete satisfaction with the condition of R101. And there we have it, the mention of the Achilles heel. And then, as it says, an Achilles yet to come. Sailors of the sky, a hardened breed, loyal to the king. An airship creed, loyal to the king. So if the Empire is expecting them to fly through stormy conditions, then they will do it, so be it, you know. The engines drum, the telegraph sounds, release the cords that bind us to the ground. Said the coxswain, sir, she's heavy, she'll never make this flight. Said the captain, damn the cargo, we'll be on our way tonight. So they had an idea, right? Groundlings cheered in wonder as she backed up from the mast, baptizing them her water from the ballast fore and aft. I think that's just poetic license stating that they basically dumped the waters on spectators below, and they use water ballasts in airships, and it was a means of controlling the buoyancy, and also transferring the ship's weight. So that's what they did basically with the water. They either transferred it or they dropped it, and in this case, they thought that they needed to drop the water to help her get buoyancy. All over the people below. Now she slips into our past. Now she slips into our past? Is that like if you're on the ground looking at this majestic grey airship flying off and then never to be seen again? Okay, let's crack on. Dramatic. There are chiming bells in this. Yeah, there are. I get this. The music is trying to get you to imagine this huge colossal aircraft, right? You know, going up. Whoa. Where are they taking us? I think it's trying to really reflect drama here, right? Another melody shift. It's sort of traditional Irish. Hey. Hey. Cool, man. Okay. Another. So many shift changes. We're back to the Irish folk sound again. Oh, and the brass section. Man. Blimey. I have to say, this is cool. I like this. It's different. Oh, yes. Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. That's cool, man. I like this. Good. Okay, they're changing it up again now. Another melody shift. Piano is still there, isn't it, in the background? Da 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 da. This is like a film score. Oh, blimey. They're really trying to convey theatre of the mind, getting you to imagine what's happening, right?
Downwards came the cry, bow plunging from the sky. 3,000 horses silent as the ship began to die. The flares to guide her path ignited at the last. The empire of the clouds, just ashes in our past, just ashes at the last.
Coming back to the original melody now. So different from anything I've heard from Maiden.
Shadow on a hill, the angel of the east, the empire of the clouds may rest in peace. And in a country churchyard, laid head to the mast, 48 souls came to die in France.
Well, yeah, there's a lot to take in there, eh? That was kind of multi-layered in a way that I'd never expected anything from Iron Maiden. Okay, let's quickly do the text and then let's talk about the music, right? Fighting the wind as it rolls you. feeling the diesels that push you along, watching the channel below you, lower and lower into the night. Lights are passing below you, northern France asleep in their beds. Storm is raging around you. 1,000,000 to 1. That's what he said. Okay. So the airship has reached North France, and a storm is having an impact on the flight path. And apparently the result of this was that the R101's track was to the east of its intended course. And apparently the aircrew were made aware of this because they passed over a distinctive hilltop town called Poix de Picardy. I hope I pronounced that right. So they would have recognized where they are. So they had to change course. And because of this, this new course took them directly over an area called Bouvin Ridge. And by all accounts, this area was notorious for turbulent wind conditions, which doesn't sound very good, does it? Especially when there's already a storm and you're in an airship that hasn't really been tested to its full, let's say. Reaper standing beside her with his scythe cut to the bone, panicked to make a decision, experienced men asleep in their graves. So death is waiting to deliver a knockout blow, essentially. That's what the meaning is there. Her cover is ripped and she's drowning. There you go, the canvas cover that we already talked about. Rain is flooding into the hull, bleeding to death as she's falling. Lifting gas is draining away. So she's plummeting, starting to fall, and they don't have enough gas to compensate. "We're down, lads," came a cry, bow plunging from the sky. 3,000 horses silent. 3,000 horses, that's the engine, right? Horsepower. As the ship began to die. The flares to guide her path ignited at the last. The empire of the clouds, just ashes in our past. Just ashes at the last. So this seems like it went down very quickly if they said that the flares to guide her were kind of set the last minute or whatever, right? An empire of the clouds. I mean, in a way, that's kind of like a fanciful imperialistic description, isn't it? An airship of a mighty empire. And ironically, the airship is going down, but so was the empire in 1930. They were both going down. Some parallels there. Here lie their dreams as I stand in the sun on the ground where they built and the engines did run. To the moon and the stars, now what have we done? Oh, the dreamers may die, but the dreams live on. Dreams live on. Now a shadow on a hill, the angel of the east, the empire of the clouds may rest in peace. And in a country churchyard laid head to the mast, 80 and 40 souls who came to die in France. So the R101 hit the ground at the edge of a wood outside Allons, which was just southeast of Bouvin, and apparently when it hit the ground it immediately caught fire. And of the 54 passengers on board, only 6 survived. Well, that's a bit of history that I've learned, which is, yeah, it's interesting. We have to discuss the music, right? I mean, the song is brimming with progressive rock melody, right? And yet, it feels like a piece of music made for a musical. You know what I mean? Like a stage musical. I mean, it's a million miles away from anything I've ever heard from Iron Maiden. Seriously. It's a blend of melodies that's really well crafted. And I do have to check something, actually, because I'm just curious about, because the piano, as soon as that came in, I was like, do I have the right song? Did they upload the right song? And then, of course, Bruce's vocals came in. Yeah, it was Iron Maiden, but at first I was like, this is odd. I've never heard anything like this before. So the piano was played by Bruce Dickinson. And let me just check about the orchestra, because there was a lot of strings and brass and all sorts of stuff going on. Okay, So it was sort of an orchestra. I say sort of. Now apparently the orchestral pieces were recorded separately as arrangements, and they were played by a guy called Jeff Bover, who's a multi-instrumental session musician, and apparently he's played for loads of different artists over decades. Very well-known session musician. I tell you what, the reason why I said it's like a piece for a musical, it's the storytelling, and also there's like an emotional depth there as well, right? I mean, it was written in, well, came out in 2015 on the Book of Souls. So it's mature Maiden, I guess. I'm actually curious, when this came out, how was it taken by Maiden fans? I mean, let me know. I mean, I'm always interested, pop them in the comments section, because it's interesting to know. Because for me, this is like, maybe there was stuff before this album that was close to it, so maybe it's just my reaction is very abrupt, like, oh, what's going on? Maybe there was something else prior to this. Yeah, it's rich in emotion, which you've had before. It's beautiful, and there's it's incredibly melancholic as well, isn't it? And in my head, again, I keep thinking this could be penned for a stage musical. You know what I mean? I am a little aghast at this, I'll be honest with you, because I didn't expect it. It's sort of metal meets prog rock meets Andrew Lloyd Webber. And that's something I never would have imagined coming from Iron Maiden. But you have to give credit where credit's due with Maiden. They obviously decided they wanted to do this and just went ahead with it, I suppose. I mean, the one thing, if Iron Maiden were ever to have aspirations to get on the West End or Broadway, I guess they would use this template, wouldn't they? I suppose. I am sort of shocked with this, but I'm also pleasantly surprised. Does that make sense? Because it does show a depth of musical intelligence, all those melody and time shifts, but it's done in a really effective way as well. And I don't know, maybe subconsciously, did Maiden do this to put a middle finger up to all those musical snobs, because they've been dissing metal artists for years? And in a way saying, hey, we can do what you can do, but you can't do what we can do. You know what I'm saying? It's a modern epic, right? It's different. It's very dramatic. It's glorious, sort of. It's a true storytelling masterpiece. Whoa! Up the irons!